Hello and welcome to Build Up to a Group Game. Kick off an hour and 5 minutes away as West Ham United, who are the champions of Europe, take on Manchester City, who are also the champions of Europe. Gonzo, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, thank you, mate. Don't know and no sniffs about the team yet for obvious
It's
reasons. So, but yeah, I'm looking
predictable.
forward to it.
It's
Is
predictable.
it? Well, that's okay. That's okay. Funny, I've just had a notification on my phone telling me that that Hammers Chat are live with their build-up
You
show,
should
which
tune in. I heard it's a good show. You should.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a couple of lovely fellas on there apparently.
There's a Scottish guy who doesn't know what he's talking about, and there's a short guy who also doesn't know what he's talking about. But it's all
Yeah,
right
that's just a
sometimes.
camera. It's just a camera angle. I just
Yeah,
look.
of
I
course
just
it is.
look. I look half the size, don't I? Really?
Maybe I'll move back a bit just to try and level it
There
up a
you
little
go.
bit. But anyway, hope you're all doing well as watching. Thank you very much for tuning in to Hammer's Chat. The lineup will be out in about 3 minutes' time, but it is pretty predictable. You can probably guess what lineup is. If you were to think, I think this is what David Moyes will do and come up with an 11 for today, you're probably correct. But we'll get a confirmation in a few minutes' time when that official team comes through. Then we'll be taking a look at the Man City team as well. And we'll have a little bit giveaway where myself and Gonzo will stick a few things together, whack a fiver on it, and if it wins, give one of you lovely lot the money. Bad news today. There's no Charlie. Charlie's got tonsillitis, so there'll be no watch along. So myself and Gonzo do a bit of a build up, and then that'll be it. But we'll be back for the review after the game. But there's no watch along today. Charlie, who's missed about 2 in 2 seasons, has now missed 2 this season. It's not really good enough for Mr. Walsh, is it? It's not very good enough, is it? So Charlie's ill, so he's absent today. So we'll try and get the usual stuff going along the bottom of the screen and whatnot. But you're going to have to be a little bit patient with us on that one. Major's asking if it's an authentic West Ham shirt.
This one, no, I was no major. I was hand stitching this last night. I'm not. I'll have to change my glasses. I'm not sure if I WEEST. That's how you spell West, isn't it, Major?
I've got an authentic Hammer's Chat T-shirt.
Yeah, you do. Yes, yeah. It should be pointed out that, to be fair, the club did copy one of our T-shirts that we've been selling for 3 years, the polo shirt with a double stripe on the collar. So let's get the allegations even-handed here, because that's popped up in their club shop.
The good thing is, I know someone's got both, and they said that ours is generally better. So that made me feel better. So we're cheaper and better and original. There we go.
Yeah, we're definitely cheaper.
Yeah, and we had another copyright strike on our Etsy store from West Ham during the week. 2 copyright strikes, right? Now, one of them we're out of stock on. It's the Line of Duty mug from years ago. I think, hang on a minute, what have you got to complain about? It's got nothing to do with West Ham on that mug. And the second one was our Beatles T-shirt. Do you know that Beatles design we've got?
Yes.
So the copyright strike that.
I didn't even know they could. I didn't know they could do. Well, yeah, but not from West Ham. From Etsy. Yeah, yeah.
No, from West Ham. West Ham employ a company to go around checking everything and then just do copyright strikes on anything that's they feel is infringing on their images. So then it deletes it from your store automatically. So
what about when they copied our "Who Are You"?
Yeah, we can't do that. We can't do that. So anyway, the West Ham team is out. Would you like to know the West Ham team, Gonzo?
I would love to know the West Ham team, please.
Let me get that up on the screen because I do have that ready. I was able to prepare that. In goal for West Ham this afternoon is Alphonse Areola of the back four, as usual, with Vladimir Soufal, Kurt Zuma next to him with captain's armband on, with Nefa Gerd, and then Emerson at left back. Edson Alvarez continues playing defensive midfield with James Ward-Prowse ahead of him, and Thomas Souček is back in the side. Lucas Paqueta will move out to the left-hand side with Jai Bone on the right and Michael Antonio through the middle. Gonzo has frozen a little bit, but can you hear me okay? There you go, you're fine.
I can hear you. I can hear you. You'll have to excuse me. My internet is down. Not only has Charlie got tonsillitis, my internet's down, so I'm using, I don't even have 5G. I found out, 4G here. So, yeah, but I get the gist of the team. It's what we thought, Geo. We've got Lucas Paqueta out on the left-hand side, my friend. And, yeah, unsurprised. I don't blame him for doing it. It's not even unsurprised. I don't blame him for doing it. I did not expect to see Kadu start in this game at all, actually. And he was always going to bring Souček back. The test will be what he does. This is a tap in for him. He can do this. This isn't a problem at all. The test will be not even the Liverpool game, actually, but it will be when we start getting into what we would perceive to be winnable games. What's he going to do then? as he cannot continue to pick Alvarez, Ward-Prowse, and Souček in the same team for those games that aren't against sort of elite level clubs like Manchester City.
Yeah, we knew he was going to do this, and like you said, against Man City, you can get why he's done it. You'd have to agree with it. Agreeing with something and understand why he's done it is two completely different things. Is it what I want to see? No, but do I understand why David Moyes has done it? Yes, I get it. I'm just not 100% sure I would have liked it. But listen, at the end of the day, sort of one complaint out the starting 11. I'm okay with that. I remember times when the starting 11s come up and we're not happy with the formation as well as half the personnel. Never mind just one player. Now it's quite a pivotal one because one player impacts two positions, if you like. So Thomas Souček comes in as one thing, but moves Paqueta out to the wing. Hopefully, it means that Paqueta remains 20 yards up the pitch a little bit, and if we can get the ball to him, hopefully he's already in an advanced position. We'll see what the Man City team is in just a minute to see how they're lining up, because with John Stones out, it'll be interesting to see what Pep Guardiola's done in that midfield area and the defensive area as well. But as expected, but the bench for West Ham, I've got that. I think I've got it right. Apologies if I've made an error. I'll read it out from what West Ham have tweeted though, and while I'm doing that, Gonzo, could you just have a read of the banner and make sure?
I'm reading this on my phone.
I've got the right one.
Having an absolute. I will try and read the banner, mate.
The live chat will tell me. The bench for West Ham is Lucas Fabianski, as well as Adam Creswell, Pablo Fornals. We've got Mohamed Kudus on the bench with Mavropanos. Mavropanos is on the bench for the Hammers this afternoon. Danny Ings, Angelo Ogbonna, Said Benrahma, and Tilo Kehrer. So a very experienced bench. No Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson doesn't make the squad. Mubama was obviously playing last night as well, so last night we knew Mubama wouldn't be involved today for West Ham. So there's the bench for West Ham. A very experienced bench, though. That is a serious squad.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, it has a really good look about it. There's no doubt about that at all. Sort of got he's not just told everyone what they need to know about Ben Johnson. He's told Ben Johnson what Ben Johnson needs to know about Ben Johnson, if that makes any sense at all. So yeah, I mean, you've got that there. But you bring in this, you've got two players there who can cover centre back and right back. Of course, you've got a specialist left back on the bench. In terms of Aaron Cresswell, you don't need the right back there when you've got two centre backs who can cover right back. So, and let's be fair, I think it showed towards the end of last season, Geo, as well, that Ben Johnson wasn't the second choice right back. It was Tilo Kehrer. So he's really dropped down. So I think Ben Johnson is now third or fourth choice right back. And then you've also got a situation where he's probably second or third choice left back as well. So, I mean, there's no place on a bench for him.
The perhaps the more interesting thing I've just realised, because I have missed Said Benrahma, thank you to everyone. But I'll tell you what's interesting about that. That means no Maxwell Cornet on the bench. So Cornet not in the squad.
Oh, okay. So because I thought Cornet was on the original, the thing that I read, Cornet was on there. So there's no Cornet.
Yeah, I made an error. I had Cornet on the bench when I typed up. I didn't have Benrahma. So Benrahma is on the bench, but Cornet is not. So Benrahma's not in the squad today either.
Cornet's very costly, Geo. Very costly for Cornet. I feel this decision to Moyes is a funny one. Moyes is a funny one. There's a paradox. There's a paradox to him. There's a contradiction to Moyes. Whereas there's a forgiving side to him. He forgives. I think he forgives when it suits him. Maybe he forgives David Sullivan for getting rid of him the first time and says, "Okay, I'll come back." He's clearly willing to forgive Jesse Lingard by saying, "I'm going to give Jesse Lingard every chance." We're grateful to Jesse Lingard, basically. But Jesse Lingard, I thought, didn't treat Moyes very well at all. So he can be very forgiving, but I feel this has really cost Maxwell Cornet his decision to go. As we understand, the rumour is he went and decided against permission, rather than using the club doctor, to go to France and get sorted for the calf injury, which took months, didn't it? It was perceived to be a 6-week injury, and he was out for months. I just want you almost look at it and you think there's no way back for Cornet under David Moyes. I can't see any set of circumstances where he features now. And you've got to say, with the European game coming up, who's gonna start on the left there? Well, it's going to be Benrahma, isn't
it? The other thing is, Fornals is in this standoff at the minute, and he's selected over Cornet as well. So we're looking at sort of the long term of West Ham. It probably doesn't include Pablo Fornals. Even that still is preferred over Maxwell Cornet.
Credit in the bank. Lots of credit in the bank for Fornals as far as Moyes is concerned.
Yeah.
And Moyes has shown this. Moyes has shown, even though he knew Declan Rice is leaving, but that's okay. I think if you're honest and upfront about what you're doing, then that's not a problem as well. Yeah, Fornals got a lot of credit in the bank, and the thing is, Cornet didn't build up any credit with Moyes before he went and did that. So yeah, it's but this is the nature of a big squad. We're going to be. I mean, I'm not to compare us to Man City. I make the comparison because we're playing them today, but there's going to be players not in that Man City squad who, maybe they sat down on Man City chat discussing the same things.
The thing is, actually, do you know what's a bit of a myth? Actually, there's a myth in football, and you've sort of just touched on it by mistake there, which is Man City don't have a big squad. They don't. The Man City usually, come the end of the season, Pep actually uses the least amount of players in the Premier League. He doesn't use that many. I think if you look at City's squad, I'd be shocked if they've registered 25 players. I'd be surprised. I don't think they have. Usually they've got about 22, and then they've got like 6 youngsters. Pep's not afraid to stick on the bench. Doesn't use them, but they're on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised there's some there today. But I do have Man City's starting 11 to hand, so let's take a little look at that. The starting 11 for City today, Ederson in goal with a back 4. How that is going to work and operate as the game goes on, we'll wait and see. But we've got Kyle Walker with Akanji and Diaz with Gavardiol at left back. Rodri in defensive midfield with Bernardo Silva, and you'd possibly imagine Alvarez in the middle as well, with Jeremy Doku on the right, Phil Foden on the left, and Erling Haaland up front.
Yeah, that's more or less what your man said, wasn't it, in your opposition preview? Yeah, there you go. You just don't know whether it's going to be a Kanji wide or Gavardiol. I can't. Is that how you spell it? Gavardiol.
Gavardiol, yeah.
Gavardiol. You just don't know which one of those is going to be wide left. It's because Aki's been playing there a bit, hasn't he? But yeah, I mean, look, what a great team, absolutely amazing team. So and the second best Alvarez on the pitch as well. So that's going to be pretty good.
Thank you to Callum for the $3 Aussie, who says we're going to win 3-1 today. Thank you very much, Callum. Massively appreciated. The bench for Man City, I don't have it. It's not going to come up on the bottom. Sorry, I can't type everything. I'm missing Charlie, but the bench for Man City today, I think it's going to prove my point a little bit when I read them out, because there might be 1 or 2 people who are thinking, who's that? I don't think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, they've only got 8 players on the bench as well. So Man City have actually got a vacancy on the bench. But the substitutions look like Ortega, who is the goalkeeper, of course. They've also got Carson, also a goalkeeper. And then they've also got Calvin Phillips with Nathan Ake, as well as Gomez, Nunez, Bob, and Lewis.
Bob, you sure it's not Bob Lewis and they haven't got 7 people on the bench?
Bob's got double B, so...
yeah. You know what? Hey, that sounded very David Moyes-ish, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got
2 goalkeepers.
And only 8 subs.
Yeah. I've got to watch out with this Bob Lewis, though. He sounds...
Bob is called Oscar Bob, and he's a 20-year-old who... obviously featured for the youth team last season, and this season he came on against Fulham and played 1 minute.
Okay, it was a good minute though, wasn't it?
So that's what the City bench looks like. This is my point. They've got Ake, Gomez, Lewis, Nunez, and Phillips. They've got 5 senior players on there. That's it. So they're missing. Bless them. I know Violins out. They're missing De Bruyne, Grealish, Kovacic, and Stones.
They are, yeah. So yeah, they're all right. They're exactly, yeah. Get your violence out. But they're doing all right. Man City. Yeah, they've got an absolutely fine team there. So it's interesting. Really looking forward to it, actually.
Right. While I'm doing this, Gonzo, if you could just chat about what you think of both teams, please, and then I shall get the teams up on the screen in just a second, and we will compile a little bit.
Well, Manchester City, they're sort of playing this light blue kit, sometimes with a white short, actually.
I should have known not to ask you to do this.
No, they're really good. I thought your guy that you had on, actually, Geo, was very impressive, whose name obviously escapes me.
Lewis.
I thought he was really good. What I was really impressed about was during the video, he managed to answer. I managed to ask a question and answer it as well, which was I thought that's brilliant. I said, Geo, going to interject him, but you knew what he was doing. You didn't even interrupt him. I thought it was very good, actually, Geo. He answered his quick question. He said no, but I think no. I thought he was really good, and I do think his appraisal of West Ham was very nice, and I thought it was very accurate. I think he managed to be honest without really blowing too much smoke up our arse. And I thought, sometimes you can play possum a little bit when you're assessing your own team. And, I think he was right to say that, he expects them at the moment while they got Guardiola to be winning multiple trophies. And rightly so. I think, he managed to speak honestly without coming across as arrogant or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, look, fair play to him. I do think we do have a chance on the counter attack here. I really do. And the one thing that is going to be a little bit of an issue is the pace. If we can keep in this game at the moment, and we're still in it, when I say in it, I take being a goal down being in it, right? If we can still be in this game by the time Moyes decides to make his substitutions on the 63rd minute. Obviously, they'll stand on the touchline for about 10 minutes. They won't get on until the 73rd minute. But if we're still in the game, that's really crucial. He's going to have to bring on pace. What I don't want to see for this game, particularly, is Danny Ings coming on. Unless in which case Danny Ings comes on and scores the winning goal, and then you have Ev, you have my permission to clip that little bit and repost it somewhere. But no, I would like to see Kudus being introduced. I would like to see them given something to think about on the counter attack. I do wonder how he's going to implement things. I do think he's going to get Souček in the box. I would not rule out at all a Souček headed goal from open play in this one, actually.
Anyway, before you disappear, you've got to go in a minute. Before you disappear, what do you fancy for the bet this afternoon?
I fancy for the bet. Look, Geo, it's a fiver, and I think you could take all types of manner of things trying to.
Here we go.
Set fiver. I think you put a 2-1 win to West Ham, right? You put a 2-1 win to West Ham in there, and then one's going to win a really nice prize if you really want to give that some extra Viagra. That bet, Souček to score with West Ham at a 2-1 win. Someone's will be very happy they watched Hammer's chat this afternoon.
Right, let me player to score.
I'll give you a phrase that pays as well. I'll give you, and I'll tell you now, because obviously we're a little bit strapped for technology and time and Wi-Fi signals and everything else at the moment, which is why obviously I keep freezing. Well, not for me. I don't keep freezing. When I'm talking, I carry on talking. It's you that freezes, Geo, but I'm very aware that it's probably my fault. I'll give you the phrase that pays as well, nice and early. Or have you put that bet in? Are you going to do that bet?
Yeah, we don't need a phrase that pays today, because when you go, I'll just let everyone in tell me their thoughts on the game. That would be the phrases, if you like. Before Gonzo goes, thank you to JP, said best fan channel. Thank you for the £2 super chat, and also to Skizzo, who says big up Hammer's chat, massive for the €5 as well. Makes a big difference. Right, Gonzo's going to disappear before he goes, just so Gonzo knows. The bet today is West Ham to win. Both teams to score, Thomas Souček to score a goal. If that happens, one of you will win. It's £180, but we'll bump up to 200. We'll call it 200 quid. One of you will win £200 this evening. I'll tell you how to enter in just a second. But Gonzo, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the review.
Enjoy the game, everyone.
Wait. What's your score prediction? Oh, well, okay. We'll assume he's sticking with his 2-1. Right, it's time for you guys to get involved. And if you post a comment from now on, you're entered into the bet giveaway. I don't want to have to do a phase at page because the chat will be covered up with the same comment. And because I'm on my own for the next 10, 15 minutes, I'm going to need you guys to join in. So get your thoughts into the live chat. It can be about the West Ham team, the Man City team, any big hopes or worries you have ahead of this game. No score predictions yet. We'll do that at the very end, though. But just get involved. Let me know what you think about the teams, and let's have a little look and see what you're all saying. And when you do, you're in. All right. Liverpool have just scored. Oh, that's a blow to our top four, isn't it? Hammerboy08 says, optimistic for the game. We've got to be clever on the ball. We can punish them. Other teams do, and we should be able to. Peter said he's hoping for a draw, but is fearing the worst. Everyone's talking about Liverpool going and being a sub that scored, so I don't know. I can't see it. My tally is downstairs. I don't have a TV in the office. Otherwise, I would just watch that. So that's why I don't have it. Sean fancies us today. Mikey would happily take a draw, but for some reason got a feeling we could nick away. Everyone's feeling good. Mark says it's a good team. He's feeling positive. Rich says it's good to see Alvarez playing. Real easy says not confident, but as always, come on, you irons. Andy would have been confident if Kudus was starting, but I'm hoping I'm wrong about Souček being on from the start. Stu said, think we'll give them a good game, but they'll pip us because that's our luck. Joshua is worried how strong City back four is. They used to be a bit soft, but now Pep's made them a lot more physical. Scott says Ben Rama as an impact sub is nice. I agree with that, actually. That's a very good point. Hammer Boy says, utilise Paqueta today and it could be huge. Dean, hope you enjoyed your birthday, Dean. It was Dean's birthday during the week. Hope you had a lovely day. He went with Desmond this morning, but I've changed my mind. Fancy us to sneak it 3-2. Come on, you Irons. Matt said he's strangely not scared. Double Think says, feel a surprise result. Play through them. Set piece, James Ward-Prowse winner. Daniel's asking about Zuma being captain. Happy with it. More than happy with it, Daniel. I appreciate some people will be against it for obvious reasons. I don't fall into that category. I think so far this season he's showing why he should be captain. I think it's the right thing to do. Should he have been captain in the first place? Don't know. I would not have been against James Ward-Prowse being given the captain's armband. I know a lot of people don't like someone coming in and getting it straight away, but with Lucas Neal and Kevin Nolan in my lifetime being two of our best captains, I'm of the opinion that actually someone can come in and be a really good captain at your club immediately. So I would have probably gave it to Ward-Prowse, but Zuma's done terrific, so I think he deserves to keep the armband. Hammer 1999 says, don't mind team. Very solid, clear tension of counter-attacking and gambling on goals and set pieces. We'd like to see James Ward-Prowse man-marking Rodri as everything goes through him. Let's have it. I think Paqueta might. I know Paqueta will be out on the left, but I wouldn't be surprised if he leans in that way. Lean is asking why Paqueta's on the wing. So Souček can start, I think. But I think that's a fair thing to say. Jay is quite confident. Ward-Prowse is going to score his free kick. Wolf is feeling positive. Paul says it's a bit of a free hit, nothing to lose. Lewis says, been clinical this season. If it continues, I fancy us. Jones is not scared. Wayne says, good news and bad. Bad, I can't watch it. Good, that means we'll definitely win. Love that. Sharky said, Ben Rama or Kudus should have started. We need the pace. I understand that feeling. Ralph wanted to see Kudus start. Was feeling optimistic, but same old. Ings on after 75 minutes. Yeah, I agree, Paper Rock. I think it is a free hit. I'm looking forward to the game. I don't think we're going to get battered. So I think worst case scenario, I think we'll lose by a goal or two, which is not ideal. I don't want us to, but I'm more worried about next week. I know Liverpool have just won. They didn't look good. The first half at the Molineux, they didn't look good today. But I'm more optimistic for today than next week because Moyes away to that team. So we know what it's like. It's very white flaggish. But today, I don't know. I'm just got a bit of a... Yeah. Justin's oddly optimistic against them. And see, it's not, I think the whole chat are. I think the live chat is generally quite optimistic. Won't be just dropping a loss. Don't want to see us defend a 1-0 loss. Justin's just plucked that butts from my head. I completely agree with you. Jay says we could watch City, catch City cold and run into an early lead. Want to see at least 25 minutes of Kudus. We'd rather Kudus started. Lloyd said we're nothing to lose going into this. You should have had more attacking players. Antonio Bowen, poor from David Moyes once again. Ian would be happy with a draw. I think I'd be delighted with a draw. We can get 4 points from this game, Liverpool and Sheffield United, which I don't think is a big ask. If we can get 4 points, I'd be more than happy with that, actually. Right, before we continue, keep your comments coming in. And while you're doing that, just want to quickly point in the direction of our merchandise. I'm wearing one of the T-shirts, but the reason for it is because we've had some new merchandise arrive in the form of mugs. We've got 5 new mug designs and 1 coaster. I'll show you that in a second. It's all based on Prague. So there you go, champions with Prague 23, the players in the background of that one. And then just a more classier one there. There's 3 other designs, a Born on Fire, a similar Claret Champions one, but it's got the stadium in the background, and an Irons on Tour. But we've also got a new coaster has landed in the Hammers Chat store in the form of another Decanio design. So if you fancy grabbing your hands on one of those, it should be on the screen underneath this video, but you can go to hammerschatstore.com if you fancy picking one up. Thank you to anyone who does head over to the store and grab something. The support is massively appreciated. Jeff is hoping for a score draw. Tom wants to see us give them a game. Yeah, I think so. I think we will. I think we will. Thomas says Kudus and Mavropanos likely to start on Thursday. I completely agree. I think he'll rotate the team massively on Thursday night. I think you'll see both of them start. I think you'll see Kedar start, Creswell start, Ben Rama will come back into the team. I'm a bit nervous. We'll deal with it for Thursday, but I'm a bit nervous what he's going to do as a striker, but we'll deal with that then. Joshua says Alvarez is key to stopping Alvarez. And he's completely right. Alvarez is key to stopping Alvarez. Brocky feels a bit sorry for Maxwell Cornet. Hammer says Kudus has been scoring in all types of game, but Moyes will only give him 10 minutes. Wacky wanted to see Kudus start as well. He'll get his run soon, I do think. I remember, I go back to this because sometimes I remember some people say about how Moyes didn't put Bowen in from the start. I mean, it was his third game he started, but his first two games, funnily enough, were Man City and Liverpool. Kudus's, I know we had the Luton, but Kudus's two games now, Man City and Liverpool. And Moyes didn't start Bowen against either of those teams. And I honestly, and then this is just my opinion, I can't prove it, I'll never know. My opinion at the time was, it was to protect Jared Bowen because he's come into a new team. Rather than start him in a game where he's not going to see the ball, he's not going to be able to impact it, keep him out of the team, let the workhorses do the job in those two games, or try, and then unleash him for the next game, which was Southampton. I remember Bowen starting that game, and he was brilliant in it. I think he might have scored in it as well. And then Bowen stayed in the team from then on. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're doing similar with Kudus. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him. Well, obviously, it's not starting today. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start at Anfield, but when we play Sheffield United the following week, he starts then. I wouldn't be surprised if Moyes is keeping him out of the team because he knows we're going to have about 20% possession. We're going to be defending for 85 minutes of the 90. So attacking players are going to really struggle in this game, in the Liverpool game. But Sheffield United at home, completely different. And I think that's when you might see Kudus make a start. And like I said, it's only my opinion. I don't know if that's what Moyes' plan was, but what he did do was keep Bowen out the team for the first two. He came off the bench, but the third one was a much more renewal fixture at home, and he went straight in and stayed in. I'm hoping that's what you can do with Kudus. So we'll wait and see. Hammer Down Under says Kudus will only play in the Europa for ages. I think it depends. It depends how he plays. I think there's a space in the starting 11. Souček's got it today, and he'll probably get it against Liverpool. But I don't think you can do that against Sheffield United. You can't. You have to be able to go more attacking when required. Hammer 1999 said Emerson's going to have his hands full today. Terrifying prospect of him getting rinsed by Doku constantly, but hopefully we're too deep to allow him to beat the man, get to byline. That's a good observation. It's a good point, isn't it? Aquamar says deep defending against City is going to be a struggle from the start. Daza says this could be a free hit and try Kudus. Disappointed Souček's back in. I would suggest, right? Dear me, trying to defend boys here. Dean's also not happy with Souček. I'm not happy either, right? Wacky's happy with Souček starting. I personally wouldn't have done. I would have preferred to see Kudus. However, again, like I said at the start, you don't have to agree with what Moyes is doing. You can be unhappy with the starting 11 or prefer to see Kudus, but also get what he's trying to do. I think Moyes' intention is to keep it 0-0 for as long as possible. And if by chance, come the hour mark, come the 70th minute mark, it's still 0-0, put Kudus on and go for it a little bit. Bring on more attacking threat once you've wore City down and seen the game out for longer. I appreciate what the devil's advocate will be, which is, well, if it's 0-0 after 70 minutes, he's going to play for 0. He's going to go more defensive to get the point. But we'll wait and see. Dom says Kudus is needed. With our creativity in midfield, he'd get a chance or two. No better way to start your Premier League career. To wait and see. Anyway, time to get your score predictions in. Please make it obvious who you're going for, whether it's West Ham or Man City. Get your score predictions into the live chat. I'm still going to say 2-1 Man City, but I am getting optimistic, and I can be a little bit stubborn. I try and not get my hopes up when it comes to, like, when I do the build-up show and the teams come, I start to get a little bit excited. I'm trying to leave that to one side. I'm going to stick with my original prediction, which is 2-1 City, because they're just top class. But I wouldn't be surprised we got something from this game, and I would bite your hand off for a draw. Fezza says 2-2. Steve also says 2-2, and Tom also says 2-2. There you go. That's the most common score so far. Scott says 1-0 West Ham, with Jimmy saying 3-2, Dean saying 3-2, Bill is 2-2, Scampy is 1-1, Maverick is 4-1 West Ham, Major's 1-1, Dom's going for the Desmond as well. Seek thinks City is going to win 3-1. Joseph's 3-2 West Ham. Matt's going 2-2. Stu thinks we're going to win 1-0, while Acid is also going 2-2. 2-2 is by far the most popular results you're predicting so far. GP, who a little bit tongue-in-cheek, I hope, says 6-0 City. European Bob says 1-0, with Coulter saying 2-1 West Ham, but Ralph says 2-1 City, and Jones says 1-0. Chuckings 2-1, as is Shane. Hammer 99 saying 3-1, Robert saying 3-0, and Mark is also 2-2. Hammer Down Under says 3-0 Man City. Ian also going for the Desmond. Muddy Boots said 2-0 City, 1-0. There's plenty of 2-2s coming in here. People expecting goals. Nobody's really predicting a 0-0 or 1-0 City. There's a lot of optimism. I like it. I honestly do enjoy this. I know I'm predicting a loss, but I do like it when the live chat are generally pretty optimistic. So here we go. White Craig, completely agree with what he's saying here, by the way. He's saying playing the best team in the world. There's so much positivity in the chat. Loving it. I am as well. Understandable. Completely understand. Dad is saying, he says what I'm seeing is City are a different animal. You can't defend against those players. Pep. By the way, like I said, Dad, it doesn't mean that's what I like. I get what Moyes is trying to do. I agree with what you're saying, by the way. It'll take something incredible to keep this City team out. But we've seen it. We've seen this defence being good. If Gerd can be his Rolls Royce one, because we know he can be a little bit dodgy, but if he can turn up and be the good version, then we've got a good chance. Michael says 2-0 City. Reddy's 2-0 City. And Charles is 2-1 to West Ham. Sebastian says 2-0 City. We'll dig in and concede 2 late on. Moyes will roll out the unlucky speech again. You can see it happening, can't you? Anyway, I'm going to disappear, actually, because we don't have a watch-along today. Charlie's ill, unfortunately. So apologies to everybody who usually joins in the watch-along, but hopefully he'll be fit. Hopefully he'll get a late fitness test for Thursday night and pass it. But myself and Gonzo will be back at full time. So when the full-time whistle goes, come back to this channel, because we'll be live discussing whatever happens in 90 minutes. But if you're watching right now, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, and please do drop a like on the video. Both things help the channel out massively. And if you fancy grabbing yourself a little bit of merch, I'm not going to lie, this mug design is my favorite one. So you'll see me drinking from this in the near future. HammerChatStore.com, links in the description below. I'll catch up with you in the review.